Hey everyone. Okay, so maybe third or fourth time's the charm on this video. I might sound a little sleepy because I'm still sick, so bear with me. But I have two videos for you guys today. The first is a haul, and first of all, today is May 4th, so may the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day. And with that in mind, I went out to pick up Star Wars The Force Awakens, because I do not have this, or I hadn't had it yet on DVD, and I had a coupon for Barnes & Noble that was gonna expire in like 4 days, and luckily, I was a little worried that even with the coupon, it was going to be more at Barnes & Noble than it was going to be at Target, but luckily, this was 20% off of the original $40, and then also the 20% coupon was 20% off of that. And then there was 10% off of the entire thing, off of the entire purchase, so that was nice. So this ended up being actually cheaper than Target, which made me feel much better about the coupon, because otherwise I was going to have to pass up the coupon and just get this at Target. But anyway, really excited about this. I just wanted to watch a Star Wars movie on Star Wars Day, and I didn't want to watch any of the ones that I own, because I've seen those a lot. Not a lot, but I have seen some of the older ones since I saw them in the theater at Christmas. So I really wanted to see this one, and it was a great excuse to buy it, because I knew I couldn't wait until Christmas or something to buy it, so yay. And this includes Blu-ray, DVD, and digital HD, which I love, because I don't know why some production companies, DVD companies, only put out copies that are just Blu-ray without the original DVD as well. I mean, I guess they do it for money, because then you would have to also buy the regular DVD if you wanted that option. But like with Blu-ray, not everyone has a Blu-ray player, and luckily I do, but you can't, you have to have like special components to watch Blu-rays on like computers and stuff, and so you can't, like, you couldn't take a Blu-ray on a trip and watch it on the train if you wanted, unless you had like a portable Blu-ray player. So, you know, I like these that include the original DVD as well, and also HD, because then you can put it on your computer, you can have it on a regular DVD, you can take it to a friend's house who doesn't necessarily have Blu-ray. So, yes, there's my little advertisement excitement for these editions of DVDs that have all three in them. So yes, watching this as soon as this video is over. And then the other thing that I got that I'm equally as excited about is What Matters in Jane Austen, 20 Crucial Puzzles Solved by John Mullen. And this has been on my radar for like, I want to say a week or 2 weeks now. A couple weeks ago, Kate from Howe and Emma from the Bookish Princess very luckily got to go to the Jane Austen Society of North America event in Pennsylvania, because they both, I guess, live close enough to where it was to go, and I was so excited for them and so jealous, because I do not live anywhere near Pennsylvania, so I could not go, and unfortunately I looked at the event in my state, and it was really boring in comparison, and it wasn't even, like, the monthly meeting wasn't even the same topic. But anyway, they got to go to Emma Day, and it was because it's the 200th anniversary of when Emma was published this year, and yeah, my branch didn't even acknowledge it. Like, they didn't talk about it last month, they weren't going to talk about it this month, they weren't talking about it next month, so I was just like, man, my branch of the Jane Austen Society just stinks. So, yeah, anyway. But they did videos about it, Emma and Kate did, and the predominant speaker that they both featured in their videos was John Mullen, because he was there, and then Claudia Johnson was there, and I was so jealous that they got to meet Claudia Johnson too, or at least got to hear her speak, because she has written some really great Austen essays in the Norton critical editions that I have, and she's edited a couple of my Norton, or of the Norton critical editions of Austen, so I was so jealous that they got to hear her speak, because I just think her essays are brilliant. But anyway, so the main focus of both of their videos, or at least the main chunk of it, was when John Mullen spoke, and everything he said was just so witty, and I totally agreed with it, and I think they both did as well. And so as soon as I finished watching their videos, I think I asked both of them, like, oh man, how do you spell his name? Because I want to look him up and see if he has a book that's available, and this is the one I found. And sadly, they didn't have it in my library, and I just requested my library to buy 2 different books, so I really didn't want to put in another request, because I kind of feel like I take advantage of my library sometimes, like a little too much. So this I wanted to buy for myself, and I had another 20% coupon, and this just looks really interesting, and the weird thing, another funny story real quick about this book, is that when I looked it up online, it said that my Barnes & Noble had it, so I was very excited, and I went in there, and luckily it was the one, well, okay, I say luckily, but I actually, when I went out to lunch today, I asked my aunt if we could go to the restaurant that was, like, near this Barnes & Noble, because I already had ulterior motives in mind, as far as getting this book. So, anyway, so I was looking for this, and I immediately went to literary criticism. My Barnes & Noble's literary criticism section is like less than 1 shelf, so didn't have much luck there. Then I looked in essays, wasn't there. Then I went and asked customer service, and the customer service lady was very nice, and she said, oh, it looks like it's in fiction under M, which is weird, because based on this book title, I would not think it would be in fiction. And so we went to look, and we couldn't find it. And so then she said, I'm really sorry, but I think we're just going to have to look in this section in literary criticism and see if someone put it in the wrong spot, and just look at all of the books. So I did, and I felt really bad for her, so I was like, oh, you go back to doing what you were doing. Please don't, like, keep looking for this with me, because I feel like I'm keeping you from doing your job. So, yeah, I was just looking, and eventually, like, 10 minutes later, she comes by, and she's like, do you have any luck? And I was like, nope. And then I told her that, the last time I was in Barnes & Noble, it was a different Barnes & Noble, or no, it was the same, yeah, it was the same one, sorry. And, I looked in the Jane Austen section, and it wasn't there, even though sometimes this Barnes & Noble will put other, like, authors who don't have that last name, but they do critical essays, they'll, like, put them with that author sometimes. Whoever they're writing about, and last time I looked, it wasn't there. This time, it was the last place I looked, and it was there. So, somehow, in the last, like, week and a half or 2 weeks of my Barnes & Noble, between my Barnes & Noble trips, someone took it out of the literary criticism section where it belongs, and put it in the original place that I looked, which is fine, because that is my first instinct, is to look with that author, so it does make sense, but it didn't make sense that it was in the section where it technically belongs, and then they moved it, and this was in between the 2 times that I was there. Like, I was just like, what? But it did make me happy that I finally found it, because I was going to be really sad if I didn't, and at that point, it just became a point of pride. Like, I was like, I need to find this book, and I need to buy it, because it's the one copy that's in the store, and I'm going to find it. So yes, anyway, that was a long story, sorry, but it's just, I'm very excited about this, and, it's just a really cool concept, and it's very interesting, because the questions, like the title of some of his different essays in here, or the different chapters, you wouldn't really think are important. Like, I'll give you guys some examples. It says, like, how much does age matter, and do sisters sleep together, and what do the characters call each other? How do Jane Austen's characters look? Like, these essay topics, or chapter topics, aren't really titles that you would think would be very important, or, like, things that you would really think about. But then, everything that he said from Emma Day, like his whole spiel on that, talking about Emma, I think was from this. I could be wrong. But he just sounded so, like, intelligent, and, like, I was agreeing with everything he was saying, and he just sounded so witty that I was like, man, I really need to read this. So I just find it interesting that the chapter topics are not necessarily something that I would think about. Like, looking at it, I would think that this was kind of an introductory to Austen book, as far as, like, if you hadn't read any Austen and you just wanted to know what her books were about without reading them, or, like, before you read them, then, like, that's what I would think of when it comes to these chapters. But then I think that it's actually a book for people who have read Austen and, like, want to delve deeper. So I'm just very interested to read some of these, and some of the topics looked really good, and I think that maybe the titles are just weird, and that it's actually some really good stuff in here, just based on everything that I heard him say in the Emma talk, at least what was filmed. So I'm very excited about this, and I really hope that it's good. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to read this before I actually pick up any of the rest of the Jane Austen books that I'm going to read this year. Because, as you guys know, I failed at the Austen Project last year when I was trying to read all 6 of her major works, and I only read Mansfield Park. This year I do want to rectify that, but I think I want to actually read this first, and then be able to think about everything that he says in here as I'm going along through her books, rather than read all 5 of the rest of her major works that I need to reread, and then pick this up. Because then I feel like that's too much to process while I'm reading this, like trying to think about all the different books, whereas if I read this first, I can just think about things he says about the books while I'm reading each of them. But anyway, at this point, I'm just rambling. So yes, very excited about this. And I'll let you guys know what I think. And also, if any of you have read it, like if any of you are major Austen fans and you have read this book, please let me know if it's any good, because if it's not, I will be very sad. But I think based on how his talk went, it's not possible for this to be bad. But anyway, so yes, excited about this, and getting ready to watch this one. So very excited about that too. Happy Star Wars Day, and I hope everyone's having a great day. Bye.